So sorry there, it's been very long time and I got kind of camera fear for, it's been months and there's no video, so I'm back here again. Thing happened and interview man tried to kill me, so I am back now and we can make video again. I want to, kind of talk about artists that I really like this time around. So I want to talk about my favorite artist of all time, Kendrick Lamar, and I want to talk about his albums. Fuck you, let's begin. We start out with classic immediately. We got Section 80. It's the beginning, the start of Kendrick's career, and it's also the very first studio album of his. What can you say about this album that's not been said already? It's pretty good. It's a very good album. It's aged like a fine wine, and I think it's very good, very very solid. And I don't think you can really say anything against it. I think the only problem with it is that some of the songs are kind of boring, but that's because I think they're kind of boring. But if you like them, that's fine. But I think all around, it's very good and it's very solid. For an album from its time, it just very much aged wonderfully. It's amazing to see, really. I like it a lot. It's a really good album, especially the albums to come after are very interesting, and I think this is a very good starting point for Kendrick, especially for the story of the albums, and kind of connect themselves together in one way or another. Good Kid, M.A.A.d is an S tier. I'm sorry for screaming, but Good Kid, M.A.A.d is an S tier album. It's one of the best story albums of all time, even outside of hip hop. This album really proved how good Kendrick is, and there's no bad song on this album. It is just amazing, and I don't think it really. I really don't think there's a lot of negatives to say about this album. The only real negative I could say is Drake, but it's different time period, different era. I mean, his verse is not even that bad. It's pretty decent for Drake standards. Especially with his other stuff that come later and they suck ass like his whole career. Don't matter. I don't really think that it can be understated how good this album is. It is one of the best storytelling albums of all time, and I don't think it's unfair to say that this is genuinely a top 100 album of all time. That's why I give it the S tier. It's beautiful. Pimp A Butterfly is also an S tier album. I mean, I don't think I need to explain that. You just go on any YouTube channel, you go on Anthony Fantano, he tell you it's a 10. You go to anybody, they tell you it's a 10. People rank this the number one album of all time. It is pretty good. Even if I think it's a bit overrated, it doesn't really matter. It is one of the best hip hop albums of all time, and that's kind of transcended the outside of hip hop. It's become kind of like a culture phenomenon of an album, and it's very good. You want me to say something different about this? It's a good album, and it's one of the best. I personally don't think it's better than Good Kid, M.A.A.d. I think they're both equals. I disagree with when people tell me Pimp A Butterfly is better. I don't really care. I don't agree with that. I think they're equals and they do what they are supposed to do equally as well. They're very different, but I think Pimp A Butterfly is as good as Good Kid, M.A.A.d. But I know that's an opinion on how many people have, and I don't care because fuck you. Yeah, it's an S tier. Is it really? It's not unexpected, is it, that this album goes on to the S tier? We got surprisingly underrated album next on the tier list, Damn. I really think Damn is very good, and I think people that say it's overbloated or overrated are stupid, and they should seek professional help. But either way, I think that this album really is good. It's a good follow-up from to Pimp A Butterfly. It didn't need to be another S tier album. It really doesn't need to be, because he already proved that you can make an S tier album twice right after each other as well. And I think this is a very good album. I mean, it's commercial, but who the fuck gives a shit? It's good, and that's what it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be anything else than that. I think it does that job wonderfully well. There are some songs that have been boring, but it doesn't really matter. I think all around it's an A tier album, and I think it has aged pretty well. I think Humble is still a banger, but I wish it wasn't on that YouTube Rewind 2017, the KSI fidget spinner thing. That was kind of weird, bro. Not even gonna lie. the latest and final album from Mr. Kendrick, or the GOAT himself, Mr.Morale and the Big Steppers. I think this is one of the best albums of the you know, the 20s, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. I don't give a shit. Really one of the greatest records to come from this era. I think it's pretty much been one of the best. I think there are some albums that, you know, compete. You know, you got Tyler the Creator's I don't remember what it's called. Call Me If You Get Lost. It's right back there, actually. Very good album. It's very nice. Outside of that, I mean, Mr.Morale, very personal album, very good. I don't really have many complaints about it. I think it might be a bit lackluster at times. Some of the songs aren't the best. And honestly, I think most of the songs on this album are really good. It's a good story as well, and I really enjoy this album a lot. It's very decent. It's very good. And that's really all I gotta say about it. I give it the 8 now, and that's really it for that album. Very good album, and fuck you.